Welcome to Carpe Scriptura, where we are going to seize the scripture back from the misquoting, and we're going to put it back in the context that the Lord always meant for it to be in. Philipians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Now, if we just take that verse completely out of the context and we just use it, it sounds like I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. But the problem is that's not exactly what the verse means. When we look at the verse out of context, what we see, what we hear, what we come across is that I can do anything. That verse isn't divorced of the paragraph that it's in. When reading the Bible, we have circles of literary context. The first thing that we have is the verse itself, then we have the paragraph that the verses fit in, and then the chapter that that paragraph is in. Then we have that book of the Bible as we continue to go bigger and bigger in the circle, and then that book of the Bible, how does it all fit within the entire context of the Bible? But the first thing that we're going to look at is just the paragraph itself that Philippians 4:13 falls in, and that's Philippians 4:10 through 13. I rejoice in the Lord greatly, now that you, at length, you have revived your concern for me. You were indeed concerned for me, but you had no opportunity. Not that I am speaking of being in need, for I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. This passage is about contentment, not conquest, not victory, but contentment. Paul's about to go on and list things in which we should learn to be content. I should be content with the good, and I should be content with the bad. And then he goes on and says, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. You see, when we look at all things that God is trying to teach us through Paul, that we have the strength to do, it's to be content. We are to be content. God gives us the strength to be content. When we look at this verse in the context, it is simply showing us that with Christ, He is sufficient for everything. Whether I am successful or whether I am failing, whether I have everything I could possibly ever want, or whether I have nothing, Christ is enough, and He gives me the strength to remain faithful.